Now we are going to talk about WH questions. WH questions are questions in which we are looking for some missing information. The first WH word that we are going to talk about is che. That means what. And it's the most common one because it's used in all languages and in Farsi like others a lot. So in order to form a question with che and other interrogative words in Farsi, you don't need any change in word order, as opposed to English that you change the word order in order to form a question. So in order to form a question, you just need put this che in the place of missing information. If it's object or it's in the adverb of time or something like that. So let's look at some examples. دیروز چه خوردی؟ Yesterday, what you ate. The point is that you should try to put che as close to verb as possible. So here che is very close to verb because it's in the place of missing information, which is the object of this sentence. And the answer is just giving the object for this sentence. دیروز پیتزا خوردم. I ate pizza. It's object. Another example. وقتی با آنها بودی چه کردی؟ Again, putting che as close to this verb as possible. When with them you were, what you did. So it's saying when you were with them, what did you do? And the answer again is just the object. You just can say we watched a movie. ما فیلم دیدیم or ما غذا خوردیم. Just specifying the what you did, the missing, putting the missing information in the place of the question word. Sometimes che is for specifying some words. For example, your friends have watched a movie. You know what they have done, but you want to know specifically what movie they have watched. So in those cases, you just put che before that noun, and you ask others to specify that noun for you. Let's look at an example. در تهران چه فیلمی دیدی or دیدند, doesn't matter. In Tehran, what movie did they watch or did they see? Here I want to specify the movie they have watched, so I put che just before that noun. However, it is important to know any noun after che, any noun, gets a ye and it's pronounced e. Like here, film is the word for film, and then you say che filmi. Let's look at another example. در رستوران چه غذایی خوردند. In restaurant, what food did they eat? So there's no change in word order, and we just put che before the noun we want to specify. And as I said, any noun after che gets ye, and it's pronounced e. Here I put another ye, just it's a euphonic ye, because the word ends in a long vowel, and in order to put another vowel after it, we need a consonant, here ye, in order to intervene and make pronunciation easier. There is another point about che, and it's related to the difference between che in spoken Farsi and che in written Farsi. In spoken Farsi, che is pronounced chi, and when we want to say that what did you eat, we say, for example, chi khordi, instead of saying che khordi. Let me write it for you. So che is in written form, but chi is in a spoken form. So whenever we want to use che in a spoken, we say chi. For example, chi khordi. What did you eat? But never we use chi if there is a noun after che. For example, we don't say chi ketabi khandi. What book did you read? Because there is a noun after chi, it's wrong. We should use che. But if there is there isn't any noun after che, the word che, in a spoken Farsi, it is always used chi. Also, when in a spoken Farsi we want to use che with the verb third person, the verb to be, asked, we just say chie. So che asked, what is, in spoken Farsi is just chie. You will see this a lot. For example, اسم تو چیه? What's your name? Or on un چیه? What's that? In چیه? What's this? It's used a lot, but you should remember that چیه is the che asked. But it's not used. This one is not used in written Farsi, but in spoken Farsi. So the points about che is that first, putting it as close to the verb to a verb as possible. Secondly, if you want to specify a noun, you just put it before that noun, and that noun gets a ye, and it is pronounced e, like che filmi, che غذایی, che ketabi. And the third point is that chi, when it's alone in a spoken Farsi, instead of say, they say chi, like chi khordi. And chi ketabi is wrong because there is a noun after chi, so we should just use che. And the last point was che with the verb to be, that is pronounced chie in a spoken Farsi.